Home and away spoilers. Harper cuts Tane out of his son's life. Next week on Home and Away in the UK. After calling off the wedding, Harper tells Tane that she'll be raising their baby alone. Harper makes a massive decision about her future with Tane next week, after he finally admits the heartbreaking truth about his feelings towards her. The pair had embarked on a whirlwind romance after Harper discovered she was pregnant, the result of a one-night stand with Tane in the gym. Although Harper had developed feelings for Tane before things turned physical, it soon became apparent that their relationship was largely influenced by Tane's determination to be a dad to baby Archie, rather than his having any romantic inclinations towards Harper. Harper was somewhat underwhelmed when Tane casually suggested they move in together for practical reasons, leading her sister Dana to point out to Tane that he needs to prove that he's committed to Harper, and not just to the baby. In response, Tane proposed marriage to Harper, in an equally casual fashion, keen to demonstrate that he was serious about building a future with her. News of the engagement quickly spread around the Bay, catching many residents off guard and not necessarily in a good way. Cash found himself conflicted when Tane asked him to be best man, particularly given that Tane had already confided he wasn't in love with Harper, but was hoping those feelings would develop in time. Even John, who was eager to put himself forward to officiate the ceremony, was left questioning the couple's relationship after their initial meeting together. Tane's initial insistence that they only required a basic ceremony to formalize things left John with the impression that something didn't quite add up. Harper eventually confided in Dana that Tane had never actually told her that he loved her, but she convinced herself that she was comfortable marrying Tane as he made her feel safe. But as the day of the wedding fast approaches, Harper's doubts have come to the surface after looking at Tane's wedding photo with late wife Felicity. The smile on Tane's face told Harper all she needed to know. Tane had never looked at her that way. On the eve of the wedding, Harper stood alone in front of the mirror in her wedding gown, with the tears beginning to flow. As we return to the scene next week, Harper is still in her room as Dana and Irene return home. They're both looking forward to the ceremony now that Irene has been convinced to attend, having initially been concerned about the temptation of alcohol following her recent stint in rehab. When Irene notes that Harper seemed a little tense earlier, Dana goes in to check on her sister, only to find her sitting on the bed sobbing her heart out. Harper changes out of the dress and explains to Dana that she's now questioning what she's signed up for. She's given Tane plenty of opportunity to tell her how he truly feels, but all of his big gestures seem hollow. Dana persuades Harper that she needs to go and find out for certain either way, before it's too late. Over on Saxon Avenue, Cash is again outlining his concerns to Tane. It's the night before the wedding and there's barely any excitement, unlike when he wed Flick. Cash tells Tane that he'd have no hesitation standing beside him as best man if he genuinely believed the relationship with Harper was built on solid ground. He then puts the question to Tane directly: is he in love with Harper? Or not? Before Tane can respond, Harper enters through the open front door, having overheard the conversation from outside. "I'd like to know the answer to that too," she says. Tane attempts to deflect, suggesting the issue lies with Cash rather than himself, but Harper makes it clear that the same doubts have been weighing on her mind. With the wedding looming, she tells Tane she needs an honest answer. "Do you love me?" she asks. "Because I love you, Tane." After a brief pause, Tane gives her the answer she feared. "No," he says, shaking his head. Tane goes on to reaffirm how much he cares for Harper and how he wants to be there for both her and the baby. He asks if they can put everything behind them and focus on what truly matters. "Okay," Harper says quietly through gritted teeth, before returning home. Back at the beach house, Harper tries to maintain her composure as Irene asks if everything's okay, assuring her she's fine. Once Irene heads upstairs, Harper confides in Dana, admitting that she now knows exactly what she's walking into tomorrow. Tane doesn't love her. Dana reminds Harper that she still has time to reconsider and assures her that whatever she chooses to do, She won't be facing it alone. Early the next morning, Summer Bay is making the final preparations for the wedding as Harper returns to Tane's house. Tane is surprised to see her and questions why she isn't at home getting ready. Harper doesn't beat around the bush. "We can't do this," she tells him plainly. Tane tries to reassure Harper, putting her doubts down to nerves. He insists there's no reason the three of them can't still be a family. But Harper makes it clear that being a family doesn't require marriage. "You've told me 100 times how much you care about me." Harper tearfully tells him, "I'm sorry. I want more. I deserve more. I won't bring our child up in a lie. And I don't want a loveless marriage." With that said, the wedding, and their relationship, is off. Tane heads across the road to tell Cash, who expresses how sorry he is despite everything that's gone on, whilst Harper returns home to break the news to Dana, Irene and John. Cash later calls by to check on Harper, who tells him that she's feeling stupid for kidding herself for so long. He reassures her that it's no one's fault, sometimes things just aren't meant to be. Slipping off her engagement ring, Harper asks Cash if he would return it to Tane for her. Later, as the dust begins to settle, Dana questions how Harper plans to navigate co-parenting arrangements with Tane, especially with baby Archie due the following week, and Tane still intending to be present for the birth. A heartbroken Harper hasn't even had a chance to think about that. As they head to the diner, Irene reminds Harper not to let what has happened overshadow the birth, which is going to be one of the best days of her life. Harper decides to get it over and done with, and asks to meet Tane near the surf club. Dana goes along with Harper for moral support, giving them some space when Tane arrives. Harper gets straight to the point. They need to talk about how things will work with Archie moving forward. Tane suggests reverting to their original co-parenting plan, acting as though nothing has changed between them. The suggestion doesn't sit well with Harper, who feels that everything has changed. As Harper goes to storm off, she makes an impulsive decision, telling Tane that she no longer wants him involved in Archie's life at all. Tane pleads with Harper as she tries to walk away, insisting he tell her why she's doing this. "Because I can't even look at you," Harper exclaims as she begins to break down. Seeing the situation escalating as Tane tells Harper that she can't do this to him, a nearby Cash quickly intervenes and urges him to walk away. As Cash walks Harper home, Tane is left reeling. Thanks for watching and stay tuned for more movie spoilers next week. Goodbye and see you again.